Welcome back. With this video, we're going to start taking a look at how to create multiple opening mats on the Wizard. If you have never cut multiple opening mats by hand, just trust me when I tell you that you will never completely appreciate what the machine can do. Just like everything else, there are multiple ways to get to where you're going. And we're going to start with the simplest, but also most limited way of creating a multiple opening. From the new opening screens, we'll just click on the Array tab here. And this is the option that you'll use when you have a number of openings that are all the same dimension and you want to lay them out in a pretty simple, straightforward sort of a grid or straight line pattern. So let's get started here. Let's put in some sizes. Let's just say 5 by 7. And you'll see that it starts your picture over here. Now under the layout here, this is where you enter the number of openings that you'll have. Let's say 4. And how you want them to be arranged. And you see here it automatically starts laying it out in a 2 by 2 grid pattern here. And that's a 2 columns by 2 rows. If you wanted to have a different type of layout, you could do 1 column and 4 rows for a big vertical piece, or the other way around, 4 columns in 1 row for a horizontal layout. And then below that, you will fill out the spacing, how far away from each other you want these openings to be. And by default, it was 1 inch. Let's see how it would look if we spread those out just a little bit more. That's a little bit better. And you can also adjust the vertical separation. In this case, there's no vertical separation to deal with, so that doesn't really come into play. And you'll see here, just like in a normal single opening, it calculates the outside dimensions for you. And everything else is pretty much the same. Over here you can adjust the number of layers, and you can set a reverse bevel on any of those layers that you want to do. And also, if you wanted, you could click on the template here and choose a different opening, and it applies it to all of the openings there. And once you're done, you can either go straight to the cut screen and it's ready to go, or if you just hit OK, it'll take you to the design screen where you can take a closer look at it and maybe do some other things that you might need to do, like put in a V-groove or something like that. And also at this point, you can change any of the openings. For instance, if you wanted something different on just the outer 2 openings here, you could go into the template opening library and change those 2 to something else. So there you go. That's it. Pretty straightforward, very easy, very quick. A little bit limited because all of those really need to be the same size, at least to begin with. But for a pretty easy, straightforward job, just a couple of openings, that's all you need. Okay, let's take a look at your next option for creating multiple openings. This one gives you a lot more flexibility than the Array does. It allows you to put in any number of openings with all different sizes, all different templates, and arranged any way you want to. You're not constricted to a strict linear grid pattern. To do that, let's just go to File and start a new design. And for this, we'll click on the Multi-tab here. And for this, you'll just take a look at the sketch that you did at the design counter when you were working with your customer, where you drew out the openings and the measurements, at least rough measurements, and the layout. So let's just start and enter your opening sizes. Let's do a 5 by 7, and then click Add New Opening. And you'll see here it starts a drawing. And there's a list here of your current openings with their sizes, the template number, and the quantity. So let's just make that 2 of those 5x7s. And let's do, say, an 8x10. And enter that, add a new opening, and let's do maybe 2 of those also. And then just for fun, how about a 4x6? Okay, there you go. And as you do this, you'll see that it's creating a drawing over here and just dropping all the openings into a drawing here more or less at random. And it's a little bit of a mess, but let's not worry about that right now. So once you have all of your openings in there, just hit OK, and it will take you to the design screen. And this is what we have. And yes, it's a bit of a mess. But we can now arrange these and space them out the way we want to by going to the Alignment tab and using those tools, which I'll cover a little bit more later. I just wanted to get this part out of the way, and we'll circle back to that after I show you another way to get your openings in there. Let's take one more look at laying out a multiple opening mat. One way you can do this is to just cancel out of the design screen here, and it takes you here. And what you can do is just start clicking on the openings over here and adding them in, and then going to the properties, and you can enter your dimensions that way. And if you wanted to, you could also choose a different template for those openings. And to add more, if you have more than one of the same dimension, you can just copy and paste. There we go. And you'll see that this is all being constrained to a 16x20 mat. That's sort of the default size, and it's quickly going to get very crowded. So what I'll do is over here turn on the dynamic outsides. And what this will do is change the outside dimension of the mat as I add openings and move them around. You'll see here as I move these openings, it's taken the outermost dimensions this way and this way, adding 3 inches all the way around and calculating a new outside dimension as we go along. And if I wanted to, I could just continue to copy and paste and then go to the properties and put in my new dimensions there. And if I want to, I can change those to a different template as well. And as I'm doing this, I'll just sort of roughly drag them and drop them and put them where I want. I can also go over here and click on any of these templates, and whatever opening is added will be that template design. Again, go to Properties and put in my new dimensions. And maybe I want 2 of those, so Control C, Control V to paste. There you go. And this gives you a lot of flexibility. You're not constrained by anything, and you can just keep on adding just as you want. And that's basically it. And the next task will be to get all these aligned and spaced the way we want them. And we'll take care of that and look at it in the next video.